Welcome back to Beyond Mobility, where we share stories and conversations that highlight mobility, independence, and lived experience. Today, I am so excited to be joined by Alexandra, who is Miss Wheelchair Ohio and the runner of the platform Dancing Through Disability. Alexandra uses her platform to celebrate movement, confidence, and self expression while advocating for accessibility and inclusion. Her story is very powerful in the example of how mobility looks different for everyone and how independence is about so much more than just physical movement. So, Alexandra, thanks you so much for being here today. Pleasure to have you. Would you like to share us a little bit about your story and what kind of led you to becoming Miss Wheelchair Ohio and getting involved with the Miss Wheelchair organization?
Yeah, definitely. I just want to say that was a beautiful intro. That was so lovely. Um, so my story is I was born with a disability called spina bifida, and I've been a wheelchair user since I was 3 years old. And my mom got me involved in dance at pretty much at that age. At 5, I started dancing with the Dancing Wheel School and Company, and they really taught me everything I know about dance, and it instilled in me this confidence, and being around other wheelchair users that could dance, it really taught me, like, dance is so vital for people with disabilities. And it taught me just how important it is to be around a community of people with disabilities. And it was so nice to have that at such a young age, and to grow up in this environment of the arts and disability. And that's pretty much where my platform grew. But it also stemmed from, I deal with a lot of depression and anxiety. And in 2020, I had an emergency surgery, and it was very intense and isolating, and nobody could visit me in the hospital. And so I was very alone, and I was very depressed. And the one thing that kept me going was thinking about dance, and thinking about how going to my next dance class, being with my community, and showing up in the dance world, and what dances I could choreograph next. And so that really also made my platform for Miss Wheelchair America stronger, or Miss Wheelchair Ohio, sorry, stronger. Um, but that was in 2020. So cut to 2022, I believe, I actually met Miss Wheelchair Ohio 2022, and she was like, "Oh, you should, do this. You should apply." And I was like, "I don't know, maybe I'll do it." And then I saw in 2025 that they were applying, having people apply. And so I decided to do it in 2025, having in mind everything that I'd gone through in 2020, and everything dance has done for me, and seeing how it's helped my community so much. And so, yeah, that's how it came to be.
I love it. And I love that you use dance not only, for confidence and expression, but as a way to help balance out, like you said, that mental health and that depression piece. So that's beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, so after you got involved with Miss Wheelchair Ohio, what has what has kind of changed? How has that changed for you? Not only just with your personal advocacy platform, but even like with your dance platform. So how has the organization of Miss Wheelchair kind of impacted that?
My gosh, Miss Wheelchair Ohio has impacted me in so many ways. It's grown my confidence. I mean, dancing definitely helped me be confident on stage in my body, but Miss Wheelchair Ohio, I had no little to no experience public speaking, and Miss Wheelchair Ohio, like, s- pushed me off the diving board with that. They were like doing speeches, and I had to memorize a speech for Miss Wheelchair America. So that was like something I'd never done before, and it was just it grew my confidence in speaking to people and doing interviews and all of that. So it helped me grow in that way, and it's been amazing.
I love that. I recently did a leadership program a couple years ago, and it really dialed in some of those speaking skills like you were talking about. And it's been so nice to kind of get those anxious bubbles out to be able to give that message a little better, right? So
Hmm.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love that it
definitely.
kind of Yes, I love that it's helped with your personal development in that way. So how has being a part of Miss Wheelchair organizations helped you kind of grow that independence and confidence outside of Just Dance?
Okay, yeah. So as I was saying, the bonding aspect of it really helped me grow. And I'm very introverted. And so with Miss Wheelchair Ohio and Miss Wheelchair America, there was this like sisterhood where you could meet people. I know as an adult, it's like really hard to make friends. So, and it's also it's a person with a disability. It can be very hard. So Miss Wheelchair Ohio, it was kind of like having like built-in sisters almost in the competition. It's like everyone really was rooting for each other and wanted everyone to win. And so we kind of had this bond of like, oh, we're in this competition together and we're here and we're doing this thing. And it was an amazing thing to help everyone's self-esteem and to help us go out of our comfort zone and making friends. So that was really nice.
I love that. I love that you highlighted that community aspect that Miss Wheelchair has kind of given to you and many other women. So, when you are doing events, even locally, or when you're traveling around for Miss Wheelchair Ohio, how do you navigate those public spaces, traveling, or other events as a wheelchair user? And is there still barriers that stand out to you?
Yeah, so I don't drive myself. So my mother is the one who really helps me travel around Ohio and takes me to all these events that I need to be. And of course, I'm in, communication with the people that run these events, and I make sure that there's elevators and or ramps or really anything I need. And everyone has been so nice. Like I did a public speaking event at City Hall, and the lady that I was in contact with, she was like texting me like anything you need, like, well, I'll set
Mhm.
you up, I'll get it hooked up. And I haven't really, I can't really think off the top of my head if I've ran into really any major issues, 'cause I feel like everyone has just been so nice and accommodating, which is like such a blessing. Now that I'm like thinking about it, that I haven't like had any major issues with like meeting anybody or talking to people, because I've also done like virtual interviews, and like
Yeah.
people are accommodating in that way. If I can't go to a venue, then they're like, oh, let's meet virtually and like talk that way. So it's been so nice.
I love that. I love that this experience hasn't had a lot of barriers for you. That's wonderful. So what role does representation play when helping others with disability feel seen and empowered?
What role? I mean, it's a huge role. I
Mhm.
I feel so honored to have like this crown and this sash, and especially for little children, this representation that I can give them. It makes me want to cry. Like I feel just so honored that like I can meet people who have my same disability, or even a disability that is so different than mine. They're like, wow, women in wheelchairs can be like princesses. They can be ballerinas. They can represent their state and like talk to representatives and get awards and all that stuff. So having that representation is so important and so needed in this world, especially right now. Having disabled voices being so loud and and proud. It's very much needed.
I agree. I agree. And that's why I kind of wanted to join the AMF team, is because I really wanted to be that voice for the disability community in this transportation world where I didn't really see a lot of representation. So thank you for doing that in a level in your local community and with the platforms that you are currently running on. Before we go, what would be one piece of advice that you would give to someone who's navigating life with a disability, or a piece of advice you would give to someone who's thinking about getting involved with Miss Wheelchair Ohio?
I would tell them, I mean, it might seem cliche, but like just go for it. Like
Yeah.
if you're thinking about signing up for Miss Wheelchair Ohio, like send an email to the state rep or the oh gosh, what is it? what is it? The state representative? I can't remember what my like leader is called. Send an email to Miss Wheelchair Ohio and just ask any questions you have, or if you have a question, DM me. I'm so open to questions, and the competition is so fun and so nice, and everyone is so nice. So I would just say go for it. And in general, if you're living with a disability, I think it's really important to surround yourself with community, and just even if you don't have somebody in your hometown that has a disability, like go online and look up, like, I don't know, Jesse or Chelsea Hill or anyone, like, and DM them and say, hey, I need someone, I need a friend, can you talk to me about having a disability? And it's so important to just surround yourself with people like you in this community, and have that strength in community.
I absolutely agree. I wouldn't be where I am today without reaching out to individuals online before, getting involved with the community in person. So such amazing tips and such amazing stories you shared with us. Alexandra, thank you so much for sharing your story and your energy and your heart with us today. Your journey as Miss Wheelchair Ohio and the work that you've been doing through Dance Through Disability is such a reminder that mobility and independence and confidence comes in so many different forms. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Beyond Mobility. If Alexandra's story resonates with you, we encourage you to follow her, support disability representation, and continue to celebrate in the many ways that people move throughout the world. So until next time, keep showing up, keep advocating, and keep moving forward.